tutorial number second tutorial, which is a continuation because the first one was like there's a glitch on the software. Okay, hopefully this thing work. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through really quickly. I think we are left at number 7 of out of 16, right? Okay, good. Seems to work. Just gonna move this person to the green triangle. Boom. I'm gonna exit play mode. Clicking that. Okay, next. Okay, now we're gonna apply the component called rigid body, right? This is the component number 1. We're gonna select it first by just clicking this. We already did this. If you haven't seen it, just go through the first uh, of the second tutorial. Otherwise, you can just go through this if you're really quickly. Um, okay, so I just click next, and then it's going to open up the inspector window, and then we are going to add component over here, down here, right? Because we want to add physicality or characteristic on this game object, right? Because we want it to fall, right? Just like in the real world. So you want to put like a kind of like a gravity thing. Next, add a rigid body, and then under physics, click rigid body. Okay, and then it will appear the rigid body small window, and then we click next. And then now we again we're testing it, so we are entering the play mode to test it. Remember, we are basically doing two phases: edit, play, edit, play. So the edit is the one that we make changes on our uh, so to speak, programming environment or game environment, right? And then the second phase is the play mode where we are testing it. Yeah. So before we deploy it to in the real world, make sure it works what it's supposed to do, right? So right now we're gonna move the person now, and we're gonna see the game object is gonna drop. See that it's being dropped. So now we can move the person to the red uh, square. Okay. As you can see, that thing doesn't do anything. The game object 2 is not being pushed by that hydraulic. So we are going to add another components or properties on that game object 2. So first we're going to exit the play mode, right? So you know the drills. And then I think we're gonna, okay, so we are now going to a hierarchy window. This is, I think, where we left off. So the hierarchy window is a list of everything we can see in the scene. The scene is this one. We use the hierarchy window to organize and view object in the scene, right? So say box 1, there's audio. Box 2, there's audio. Robotic arms, there's base robotic arm, base arm, okay, and so on, right? Okay. Select game object called box 2. So we have to select this. So the box 2 game object does not respond to physics forces, right, and cannot be pushed by the robotic arm. We need to add a rigid body component to this game object too. This time, let's practice using hierarchy window to select the game object. So there's two ways of selecting a game object by either clicking it directly on that game object itself or by using this hierarchy window. So we're going to select the box 2, uh, or you can select box 1. So you can see if I click robotic arm, you can see the arrow is over there being selected. I go to box 1. You cannot see it over there, right? And then in box 2, you can see the arrow is over there, okay? Okay, next, add a rigid body component to the selected game object. So again, on the inspector window, this is where you add basically these are to select the physics engine for the game object that you are selecting. Okay, so in the inspector window at the bottom, again, add component, click the add component, and then again, go to physics because you want to select basically the same kind of component as the game object one. So we click physics and we choose again um, rigid body, which is basically applying gravity mass drag, you know. So you can see the, so to speak, the variables or the characters inside that rigid body. What are the available kind of variables, right? And then, okay, so click next. No, now we enter play mode. We want to test it after we applying rigid body on game object 2, right? And then move the green triangle now. Okay, so now we're gonna go from the beginning. I'm gonna move this blue person to the green triangle. That game object 1 drops down. The laser cuts off. We're gonna move forward to the red square. And then once there, this thing's gonna push it. There you go. It's gonna, interesting. Okay, so you can move forward. Okay, and then move the character to the goal. So this is the goal. Yay! We did it. Okay, so we're gonna exit, and that's about it. So in essence, we already learned that game objects and components are the building blocks of Unity, because game object is just the object itself, like in the real world. It's like tree, circle, ball, car, a person, or game objects one, game objects two. The component is the applying sort of personality or physicality or characteristic into that game object. So it will behave as if in the real world. So you apply, if there's a mass, there's a gravity, it can fall down, it can break, it can like bounce, it can, there's acceleration and all those stuff like yeah, basically the physics basically. So and then we add components to game objects to change how they behave. Okay, so and then how to select game objects in the scene view. So you can select the game object again from here, the scene view, or from the hierarchical view. Yeah, by clicking all of the components that you are going to select. And then how to use inspector window to add component, because if you want to add the characteristic or the physicality or the physics of that game object, this is where you want to concentrate over here, which is the inspector gadget, no, inspector window. I'm just kidding. Okay. So that's about it. That's the tutorial number 2 for Unity. Is a very basic things just to get you familiar about the Unity editor. It's very important. So I'm so excited for the next tutorial. I'll see you guys next time. And please, if you have any comments or interested to see what you want to learn more, please let me know on the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.